February 28th, 1997, 9:17 a.m., North Hollywood, Los Angeles. It was supposed to be just another normal morning. Traffic moved steadily through the streets of Los Angeles. People were heading to work, coffee in hand, minds focused on routines they had followed for years. Nothing felt unusual. Nothing felt dangerous. And that's exactly why no one saw it coming. Inside the Bank of America branch, everything was calm. Customers stood in line, employees worked behind the counters, security cameras quietly recorded every movement, capturing what looked like just another ordinary day. Then, the doors opened. Two men walked in, heavy coats, calm expressions, controlled movements. There was no hesitation in their steps. That phrase changed everything. Nearby patrol units were immediately alerted. Officers responded quickly, unaware of what they were about to face. All they knew was this: an armed robbery was in progress. The first patrol car pulled up outside the bank. An officer stepped out, weapon ready, eyes scanning. For a brief moment, everything seemed under control. Then, gunfire erupted from inside, loud, sharp, unmistakable. "Shots fired! Shots fired!" the officer shouted into the radio. And just like that, the situation escalated beyond anything routine. Moments later, the doors opened again. But this time, what came out wasn't expected. A man stepped into the street, covered head to toe in body armor, holding a fully automatic rifle, calm, focused, unshaken. And without warning, he opened fire. Rounds tore through the air, glass shattered instantly, cars were hit. The quiet street transformed into chaos. Officers returned fire, but something was wrong. Something wasn't working. Their standard issue weapons weren't stopping him. Bullets struck the suspect, but they didn't penetrate. And then the second suspect emerged, equally armored, equally armed. Now, there were two heavily equipped gunmen standing in the open street. The suspects weren't trying to escape quietly. They were engaging, holding their ground, firing continuously. At one point, one of the gunmen stood in the middle of the street, turning in all directions, firing methodically. This wasn't panic. This was control. Police were outmatched, outgunned, unprepared. So they adapted. In a decision rarely seen before, officers happened and made a decision. He moved toward a nearby vehicle, forced his way inside, and attempted to escape. But by now, the police were ready. The vehicle was disabled. The suspect was trapped. The final moments were tense, controlled, deliberate. Officers moved in carefully, maintaining distance, watching every movement. And then, it was over. Silence returned to the street. What had just happened lasted less than an hour, but it changed everything. Two heavily armed suspects, dozens of officers, hundreds of rounds fired. And one undeniable truth: they weren't prepared. But they adapted. They survived. And they learned. Because after that day, policing changed. Stronger equipment, better training, more awareness. Because the next time something like this happened, they needed to be ready. And the final realization: sometimes it only takes one moment to expose the limits of preparation and force an entire system to evolve.